Jeremy's mic and we will get class started. Jeremy, your mic is open. Enjoy your class, everyone.
Hello, yogis! Happy Wednesday! Oh my gosh, I knew what day it was earlier. I was solid. I knew it was Wednesday, and then I forgot by the end of the day. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to have you here. So we've been exploring this week in my class, and I want to offer the option to you of opening your camera. It's totally up to you. And then I can see you. We can kind of practice together. Again, that's up to you if you want to or not. Also, we've added music last week or this week, and if at any point you can't hear my voice, just throw a note in the chat and I'll adjust it accordingly. So tonight's class, we're doing Yin Yoga. We'll begin with 3 Yang sequences. The sequences will each repeat 3 times, so you can familiarize yourself and then repeat them. 1, 2, and then 3 has options. And I think today we'll do the hands-free option. So we'll do the whole sequence, actually the whole first half of the class is done without hands, and then the second half of the class is the yin portion where we'll take it down to the floor. We'll use props, so if you have a pillow or 2, probably 2, go grab those off your bed, and we'll use those for the second half of class. That said, let's get started. We'll begin standing, and we'll do a little bit of light warm-up for the body, for the spine in particular, from a standing position. So you're welcome to use your arms out to the side, or you can keep the arms down on the thighs, that's up to you. Inhale, turn your palms up if your arms are extended, or just lift your chest up toward the sky. You're extending the spine. As you exhale, bring your belly button back and round the spine, look toward your navel. And you can kind of push against your legs here. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, flex the spine. To the side, it looks like this. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex, move your belly button back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Do 2 more. Beginning to expand your breath, imagining the breath can stretch to the ends of your fingertips if you're using your arms. And 1 more. And bend. Good. Turn the legs out slightly so the toes point out to the corner of your space. And we'll take the left arm over, side bending to the right, bending the leg, bending your spine, and then we'll reverse that, coming up and over. Side bend the spine to the right, you can gently rest on the thigh, and up and over. And side bend, and over, and side bend. You're breathing as you move, and you can really incorporate the breath however you like. Now the next time you go to the right, we'll go all the way around. To the right, drop your head and circle to the other side. The other arm takes over to finish the circle. And we'll do that to the left. Bend the body, the head drops, you do a circle, the other arm takes over, and then you're back up. So it's a full circle. We go to the side. Drop your head, drop your tail, and circle. Other arm takes over, and to the side, drop your head, other arm takes over, and up. Toe heel your feet together, just a little wider than shoulder width apart. And there's some softness to your knees and the hips here. Begin to swing the arms side to side. And again, you can do this with just the shoulders, hands on the waist. But as you're going, you're allowing the pelvis to move slightly, but the shoulders to move a lot. So there's some rotation through the trunk. The eyes are following the direction of your rotation. If your arms are swinging, you might begin to feel the ends of your fingertips reach out in space. There's a little bit of an up-down. And we're at the height energetically letting the arms really swing and really slap the body. And then let that decelerate. Hands becoming heavier, rotation becoming smaller. And let it rest for a moment. Turning our attention to the ends of our body. First the feet. Pedal through the feet a little bit, waking up the soles of your feet. So you're really pressing high onto the arch, stretching your feet. Then take one foot, cross it over the other, and your toe is tucked. And then you can bend that standing knee just a little bit to stretch the top of the foot, or you can tuck the toes in and just press into the top of the toes, stretching them forward. And then do that on the other side. Tuck the toes, and you can bend the knee, pushing the shin into the ankle to stretch the front of the ankle, or just press into the top of the toes. Whatever you're experiencing, that stretch is good. Then we'll take it to our hands. Bring the wrists together and roll the backs of your hands, keeping the pressure of the hands pressing inward. And then the last bit of warm-up here is for the palm chakra. Squeeze your fist really tight. Then spread your fingers out, stretching the webbing of your hands. Then again, squeeze tight and hold. Stretch out and hold. Now we'll do that a little faster. Quick, 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 quick. So you're making a really tight fist quickly and springing your fingers out quickly. Begin to take this out to the sides, maybe up toward the sky. Tight fist, flared hands, then bring it back down. You might notice some heat building in the forearms. I certainly am. Keep going for just a little bit longer. Tightest fist, biggest stretch of the fingers, and shake it out. Ooh, forearms. And if you need another wrist. We activate the palm chakra because we use the space around us, or we imagine that the energy of the air molecules around us can be felt by the fingertips. As we go into this first sequence, I'll invite you to almost imagine the air being thicker than it is as we move. So here we are. We'll use the long edge of the mat here for the first sequence, Golden Seed. Begin with your hands at the dantian. That's the pelvic center, your low energy center. And as you breathe, visualize your breath connecting to that energy center. Or maybe not visualize, feel it. We begin. Sweep your arms up, gathering energy from the space around you. Turn your toes out and press the hands. Very strong through the arms, then dive forward. Toes turn forward once again. Turn your right toes out. Open up your left arm, rotating your body. Close. Other side. Turn your left toes out. Open up your right side. Close. Palms up. Gather energy from the earth. Pull it into the body. Turn your palms up and press up to the sky. Dive forward, drinking bird. You're reaching way forward with the crown of your head as your arms swing back. Drop your pelvis. Sweep the arms up, horse. And dive forward again, drinking bird. Palms down, gather energy from the earth, pull it up through the body, unfurling the spine, the energy rises through the body, past the crown, then you bring the energy back to the dantian, back to the low pelvis. You can adjust your feet as you need. Close your eyes and envision the energetic connection from the breath to the pelvis. In Chi philosophy, that's the central channel. In yoga, we called it the Sushumna. Round 2. Gather, sweep up. Turn your toes out and press. Dive forward, toes turn forward once again. Turn the right toes out, rotate to the left. Close. Left toes out, rotate right. Close. Palms up, gather. Invert the palms and press toward the sky. Dive, drinking bird. Drop the pelvis, horse. And drinking bird. Palms down, pull energy from the earth up through the body, the spine uncoils, and press energy back to the dantian. Visualize your energy. Maybe feel the energy coursing between the fingers. Third round. Gather. Press. Fold. Turn the right toes out, rotate left. Close. Other side, left toes out, rotate right. Close. Gather. Invert the palms and press. Dive. Drop the pelvis, horse. And dive again. Palms down, gather. And reclaim energy in the center of the body. Toe heel your feet underneath you so you're standing. Equal weight on both legs. Close your eyes and breathe. There's softness in the knee joints. There's softness in all the joints. The joints are supple and available. You're picturing energetic chains, pathways of energy through the body. We move into our second sequence. Warrior advances and retreats. So again, we imagine this ball of energy that lives between our hands, but also is representative of the energy in our pelvis. Go ahead and join me on the first one. We take that ball of energy above head as we lift the right leg. Step the right foot back. Draw the energy into the body and press to the back of your mat. We do it again. Pivot, gather, and press. You're pivoting on the balls of your feet. Pivot, gather, and press. That's the third time. Sweep the arms across the body and lunge to the left. Do a circle right to left and lunge again. Step to the back of the mat, onto the right foot, arms sweep above head, left leg lifts, and you replace the leg, gathering the energy back into the pelvis. Second side. Left leg lifts. Sweep the ball of energy above head, draw it into the body and press. Gather, press. Gather, press. Low retreat to the right, arms sweep, right knee bends. Circle left to right. Step to the front of the mat, onto your left leg. And replace the foot. Visualize the energy coming into the center of your body. Round 2. Sweep your right leg up. Gather and press. Gather and press. 2. Gather and press. 3. Low retreat to the left. High retreat, also to the left. Step to your right foot. Reorganize. Round 2. Left side of round 2. Gather and press back to the front. Gather and press. Gather and press. Low retreat. Circle forward, high retreat. Step to the front of your mat. Reorganize energetically. Third round. Sweep up. Extend and gather. Press. Gather. Press. Gather. Press. Low retreat. High retreat. Step to your right foot. Reorganize. 2 legs. Second side, left leg. Gather and press. Gather and press. Gather and press. Low retreat. High retreat. Step to your left foot. And regather the energy. The hands in front of the pelvis can have a small space between the fingers. Imagine a filament of energy connecting the hands. And visualize the filaments of energy that connect the various parts of your body. This third sequence is Dragon Lunge. But we're modifying it slightly, taking out the lunge part. So it begins similar to the warrior advances retreats. You lift the right leg, the arms sweep out like wings expanding. Then you step your right foot back. As you do so, you can hover, taking this warrior 3 moment before you land in a lunge. Sweep your arms and torso up. Sweep your arms and torso forward, arms reach back. One more time, come up and you pivot all the way around to the back of the mat. And you take that leaning lunge. Bring your body up. And take your body down. Lower the knee to the floor. You can untuck the toe if you choose or keep it tucked. Make a fist with your hands. Unfurl your spine. Then open up your hands and squeeze the shoulders. Exhale. Then reverse that. Bring your hands forward. And as they come forward, you stand up, pressing down. Right hand comes to the left knee. The left arm circles up and over as you twist the body toward the left. Reverse that. Both arms come up, and you replace. We finished the first side. Second side. Sweep your arms out to the side, the left leg lifts. Extend the leg back, landing slowly in a lunge. Sweep your arms and torso up. Sweep the crown of the head forward. Fly all the way around to the front of your mat to your reclined lunge. Torso up and torso down. Lower the back knee. Make fists. Unfurl the spine, then shoulders. Open the throat as you squeeze. Reverse the arms, and as you stand up, your arms press down. Hand to knee, circle your right arm. Reverse the circle, both arms meet above head, and you replace the foot. How'd we do? Let's do that sequence again. So there's some balancing involved. There's some extending from the center. Here we are. Right leg lifts. Gather and place. Sweep up. Sweep down. Sweep around. And you're down. Back up. And down. Lower the back knee. Unfurl. Big inhale. Big exhale. Stick your tongue out. Reverse the arms. And the hands press down as you stand up. Boom. That's a kind of big, powerful move. Not kinda. It is. Right hand to knee as you circle the left arm back. Reverse your circle, your arms unite above head. And recover. Second side, left leg lifts. Float, suspending this moment before your foot touches. Then with strong feet, sweep up. Sweep down, sweep around, and torso down. Torso up, torso down, knee down. Gather energy in the body. From the earth, you rise and squeeze. Body up. Stand up. Right arm. Reverse. Arms unite. And recover. One more time through, yogis. Right leg lifts. Float back into your lunge. Extend. And lower. All the way around. Strong feet. Lower. Extend. Lower. Knee down. Dragon's breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Arms up. Stand up. Left arm. Reverse, arms unite above head. Replace the foot. Last time through, left leg. Float back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. All the way around. Lower. Rise. Lower, ground the body. Unfurl. This is your biggest inhale yet. Biggest exhale. Arms up. Stand up. Right arm. Reverse the arm. And replace the foot. Bring the hands back to the dantian. Small space between the hands. Close your eyes. The knees are bent slightly. There's a readiness to the joints. So they aren't rigid. They're soft and pliable. And as you breathe, can you visualize the energy coursing through your body, all passing through the nexus, the center, right behind your hands in the pelvis. You might feel a lot of vibrant energy. The dantian has been described to me as a bowl of water. That when you activate it through movement, it starts to slosh, and it's a good thing. The graduating seniors said they will miss sloshing their dantians with me. All right, let's grab the pillows and come down to the mat, doing the yin portion of the class. Take a seat. Soles of the feet in front of you, and there can be quite a bit of space between your heels and the hips. Set up the pillow or pillows or whatever props you have, and you might realize you don't have enough. Go grab more. That's absolutely fine. You want to allow the body to be supported. So for me, I'm folding up my pillows in a meaningful way so I can rest my head. I'm going to grab one more prop, I believe. Now I might be ready. So, and that brings me to the first tenet of your yin practice. The yang practice is very vibrant and moving. The yin practice is the flip side. If yang is sun, yin is moon. And so we take that fiery energy and we don't put it out or anything, we don't douse it, but rather we let it settle. We let it store in our dantian, in our cells, in the places where we need it for later. So once you find your position, and you might have wiggled for a little bit and you're finishing wiggling, the first tenet is to resolve to stay. So you commit to this shape, and you commit to staying in the shape for a period of time. The word they often use, well, the resolve to stay, that's sankalpa, a firm resolve. But the word associated with staying is more accurately translated as steadfastness. I really like that particular word. Staying somehow is vague, but as steadfastness, you can think about that in the body. And steadfastness can be a good quality in the body, but it can also reflect tension and unnecessary holding, perhaps in the joints, perhaps in the belly of the muscle. Then we can think of steadfastness of the mind. That's what I really like. That's where I really like to apply the word steadfast. So you can be steadfast, and the dark side of steadfastness of the mind is stubbornness. But you could also look at that as conviction of beliefs, and that can be often viewed as a good thing. But another aspect of the mind is the ability to hold attention, your ability to focus the mind. So how steadfast is your attention? That's my personal challenging question when I come to the yin part of practice. I like to do lots of movement and often forget that letting the body be still is as valuable, and perhaps even more valuable, than the doing. So I can convince the body to be still, but then I think, oh, well, then I can multitask and do something else in my mind. Well, that's not the case either. The commitment is to bring the mind to steadfast attention, letting go of the many thoughts it has. So you've already been in the pose for some time, about 3 minutes. The body has committed to the shape, but has your mind been wandering? And that's what you observe while you're in the posture, what the mind does. Some of the habits of the mind we know because we're self-aware. But other habits of the mind reveal themselves to us more reluctantly. And there's sometimes habits we don't acknowledge we have, or don't necessarily realize we have. Sometimes we unconsciously see these habits in other people, and we see that habit or that behavior, that action, and it affects us in some way, and we don't know why. And that could be connected to something that you recognize in yourself. We're here for another 3 breaths. On your next inhale, begin to bring the body up. Remove the props as you need. And so our next shape, we'll fold the right leg in front, and we'll tuck the left leg under behind us or to the side of us. So the right leg's in front, left leg is behind. The props are over to the right side of you. Stack the props in a way that you can recline the body on the props. And in the setup of this shape, looking toward the knees is likely to be more accessible. If you're able to have a little more intense posture, you can look to the right, away from the knees. But remember, we're sustaining the posture or the shape for a few minutes. And as you remain in the shape, the physical experience intensifies. So the mind is a wonderfully complex organ. And to even call it an organ is woefully underserving it, what it does. Yoga philosophy breaks the mind down into 4 components. The manas mind is responsible for our senses. Let's acknowledge the manas aspect of the mind and notice what you see. You may have your eyes closed, but through closed eyes you can perceive light. We can also, with our eyes, perceive depth, distance, color, for some I should say. We can perceive movement with our eyes. Acknowledge what you hear. My voice coming from your device, my music. Maybe you can even hear that I live on a busy street with occasional street traffic. But what do you hear in your space? What sounds are you aware of? Or what sounds do you become aware of when you bring your attention to sound? Inhale through your nose, and as you inhale, acknowledge what you smell. And as you exhale, notice what you taste. Those two are very directly connected to one another. And my noticing of taste made me need a drink of water. We'll come back to smell a little later in my talk. What do you feel? Sight, sound, taste, and smell, and lastly, touch. So the largest organ of the body is the skin, and it's responsible for perceiving temperature. You can feel the exposed area of your skin versus the clothed areas. Texture, you can feel different clothing textures, carpet versus mat, or hardwood if you have that. Pressure. Through touch you can also perceive pressure, where your body is connecting to the floor. You can tell the texture of a hard surface versus a soft surface. You can feel the pressure of a waistband or other types of clothing. And then going beyond the 5 senses, we have proprioception, interoception, and the vestibular system, balance. So we're laying on the floor, so balance isn't an issue. But proprioception, you can perceive where your legs are in relation to your arms. Interoception, you can feel your heartbeat. You could also feel digestion happening, or circulation. And then we have other senses that are less talked about, but these all live in the manas part of the mind, the most primitive or most basic part of our mind. Enjoy another breath or 2 here on this side. And take time coming out of this shape, unfolding the legs. Any improvisational movement you like before we go to the second side. continue to breathe as you improvise movement. As you're ready, we'll set up side 2. Move your props over. The left leg will stay in front, your right leg will tuck behind. Rotating your torso to the left, you lay down and you're deeply compressing that bottom hip. A reminder, looking to the right is a little more accessible, looking to the left is a little more intense. What do we do when we perceive something with the manas mind? We have the system in our body, the neuromuscular system that transmits signals. But once they're in the mind, those signals are processed, and the discerning mind is the bodhi mind. Discernment, judgment, evaluation. And some of this connects to our reflexes and instincts. So you might touch something and that's hot. Oh, you move your hand. But a lot of the action or the work of the bodhi mind is, well, it's critically constructive, but it can also be detrimental. The bodhi mind is where negative or positive self-talk lives. And it relates to the next aspect of the mind, the ahamkara, the sense of I-ness, sense of self, or from Freud's term, ego. It's our inner perception of our identity that's formed in relation to others and through socialization. The ahamkara, if you think about it through the lens of ego, that's the sort of dark side of ahamkara. Ego unchecked can become hubris or pride. But ahamkara can help us navigate our social and interpersonal relationships well or better. But the ahamkara ego is easily unbalanced. And the final component of the mind, citta. The most sophisticated, but also still primitive, it's our epic memory or cosmic consciousness, our connection to the universe, to other people that is almost beyond our scientific understanding. It gets into that quantum level, what religion comes to explain, what art can explain through its doing. When a memory is triggered, and I said we'd come back to smell, and you immediately are flooded back or brought back to that moment, that's the citta mind, your cosmic mind, your connection to the bigger cosmic world at play. Enjoy another breath in this shape and bring your body up. Any intermediary shape you need, unwinding the body. And our next shape is like child's pose, but it's a supported child's pose. And you can choose how you place your support. You can place a block or a pillow or two under the pelvis, so your pelvis is supported, or you can place a block or pillow under your chest, so the chest is supported. So again, I'm going to grab my auxiliary pillow if I were to set this up. And so I've invited you into child's pose. If you would prefer frog variation, you're welcome to take this as frog variation. In frog, you're also supported by the pillows. And then notice where you land. Scan the body and notice if any part of the body is still holding, is still exerting effort to support you. And see if you can do a little adjustment to let go of that effort, really allowing gravity to press you down and your props and the earth to support you. Notice the layers of the mind. While we can sort of pull them apart and talk about them independently, manas, the senses, bodhi, discernment, ahamkara, ego, and chitta, cosmic sense, they're absolutely interwoven. As two, the body, mind, and spirit are interwoven. Something that affects the body will also affect the mind and the spirit. And that goes the other way. Something that affects the mind might also have physical manifestations. Example, you're stressed about the state of the world, very naturally. You might feel that stress or anxiety in the body. What happens in our chronic states of stress is we become accustomed to that habitual tension. So accustomed we no longer notice it. Bring your breath back into the act of noticing as you gently take a few more breaths before coming out of the shape. The next shape is my favorite. It's an extension. And again, I'm offering you lots of variations, and I really encourage variation.